guys, welcome back to my channel, Helki Rain. Thank you for joining me for another video this week. I would normally post my weekly readings now, but I thought I would take the week off from that. I haven't actually been very active on my channel. I'm sure you haven't really noticed. Today I thought I would talk about my new altar space, and then after I thought I would just pull a card for you guys watching, and we can sort of take that as some guidance for us all, including me, and to kind of keep with us and keep in mind this week for sure. So I am cozy. It's like not very good weather here at the moment in the UK. I'm still staying at my mum's in South London temporarily, but that is where I am. I'm cozied up with a cup of tea, a Rubio, it's caffeine free, and this is a Harry Potter cup and a Harry Potter blanket, because my mum and stepdad are huge Harry Potter fans. I'm yet to explore that world. I know, shocking, I haven't seen or read Harry Potter, but I'm sure the day will come, especially since everyone else in my life seems to be huge fans of it, so I'm not sure why I haven't quite got there yet. So anyway, let's get on with it. So my new altar space, you'd think I'd be showing you my new altar space, but I just have to explain it to you because it's sort of different to any of my other altars that I've had in the past. This altar doesn't actually exist in this 3D reality, this 3D realm that we're in. I've created a new altar space which I use now most frequently, and it's all in my mind's eye. And I just can't believe it took me this long as a witch to get to this stage. I'm sure there's lots of you witches out there already who already do these types of altars, like mind's eye altars or virtual altars. I'm not exactly sure what the correct name is for them. I use my altar whilst in meditation, and I do now spell work and my deity worship and everything in my mind's eye altar. And this altar is so magical. It's like no altar I've ever had before, because I'm not restricted by the items that I have, and I'm not also distracted by the tools that I'm using here in the 3D realm, and feeling like things had to be a certain way, and if I didn't have the herb, or I didn't have the right colour candle, or I couldn't use my incense because I'm now like staying with family, and earlier this year I was traveling, and I feel like I have been pushed by spirit to actually find this practice. I can't even remember how it happened, but I know it was building up over a long period of time this year since I moved out of my flat. All my stuff's in storage still, so I'm still sort of a nomad. Like, I'm staying with family. I was traveling with my dad for 3 months, and this meant that I couldn't have my safe space, my private space where I had my altar set up like I used to in my flat, and I could do my spell work, and I could have access to all my tools, all my cards, and do cauldron work, do all of that amazing stuff that we love to do as witches, and is a big part of our lives, a big part of our practice. So you can imagine when I didn't have that, I was feeling very lost. I was feeling very out of touch with what I had been learning and been building up as a massive part of my life was my practice, and it was very much around witchcraft and having an altar space. So wherever I go, I build small altar spaces. Of course, this camera is set up now on this small little altar table that I've created, and when I was traveling, I had all like a lot of my crystals and some of my decks with me, and I would always set up a nice sacred space, but it just was never the same, and I never felt drawn to my altar as I used to feel. Very recently, I found this new way of connecting and working my practice without feeling that lack, feeling unmotivated by not having everything I felt I needed. Because in my mind's eye, when I was visualizing this virtual altar, I was able to bring in even more than I could ever bring in before, even when I had my full access to my full altar. Because you can't always afford everything. Like, some of this stuff is so pricey, and also just this 3D realm doesn't allow for you to maybe practice in some of the real magical ways that we wish to practice. So this altar in my mind space, I can work directly face to face with the deities that I'm working with. I'm currently working with a goddess called Sekhmet. If you would like me to do a separate video on all the experiences I've been having with Sekhmet, then I can do that. I'll probably do that at a later date when I have more to add to that, but I've had some really amazing experiences with that goddess, so do let me know if you want me to talk about that further. But also, it has allowed me to use tools that I wasn't necessarily using in the 3D realm, such as levitating objects, and also using scrying in crystal balls, but not even like crystal balls, more like balls of energy. And there's so much you can do. It's literally boundless, you know. In this altar space, when you create it in your third eye, you can really create your dream sacred space, and you can work much more, in my opinion, directly, like face to face with deities if you wish. And you can also work your visualization into your practice. So if you want to bring something into your life, it's much easier to visualize that in your virtual altar, visualizing that in the middle of your altar space whilst actually casting the spell around it, and using those tools so freely, really actually bringing just more magic to the practice itself. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this, a lot of you do this, but this is new for me, so I definitely wanted to share it, and maybe you guys could feel inspired, especially because this year we've all been hit pretty hard financially. I know I have, and tools and materials and ingredients and stuff for your spells and your altar space can be very expensive, and I still use cards every day. I'm a tarot reader, of course. I'm always using the tarot, I'm always using oracle decks, and that hasn't changed, but that isn't the same for me as when I'm doing my spell work. They're very separate. Like, spell work is my intention setting, and the cards are more like tapping into advice from your higher self, from spirit. So I feel like this has definitely elevated my spell work and like astral connection, in a sense. Like, I've been having a lot more visual meditation since I've been doing this work, so it's really ramped that up. Yeah, so I've also been doing this like heart chakra sort of love work, which brought on a really big, like one of the biggest experiences I've ever had, the most amazing experiences I ever had with Jesus, or you could say Christ consciousness. That I think as well is just like a whole other video on itself, but this has definitely brought like a brand new energy into me, and really sort of like given me like another awakening, like my 100th awakening. It feels like you're just peeling off constant layers when it comes to the awakening process. So I've definitely been doing a lot of internal work. So yeah, like that is pretty much it. Like, it's a virtual altar, you know, you can do whatever you want there. I could go into more details, but it's very similar to like real altar work. Like I have a sacred space set up, I have my candles, I light my candles, I work with herbs, I use a cauldron, but I also use this like floating ball of energy. It's kind of like a ball I can like see my visions through. It's also something I can that creates like energy. It's really hard to explain, but I think it's definitely worth a try if you've not tried it, and especially if you're feeling like you want to do more, you want to do spell work, but you're like me, you're in a position where you don't have access to that stuff. But yeah, I just thought that would be helpful. I thought I would share that because it's been like a real breakthrough for me recently. And yeah, let's pull a card for you guys though, and we'll see what sort of a message we can all take this week. This is a deck actually that my sister lent me. It's such a beautiful deck. So this goes very in line with this video. We got the Create Space card, number 38. So this feels like a lot of loving energy booming off this card. Create space could mean so many things to all of us, right? It could even be like the subject of this video. Create space in your mind, get into that get into meditation, clear the mind, and then start creating your altar space there. Could definitely relate to that. Create the space. Your altar can't be there when you've got all the head chatter, like the mind chatter going on, and thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, oh, I can't believe someone said this and someone did that. That all needs to go, and you really need to get into meditation in order to then be creating this altar space in your virtual inner world, in your astral world. So that's like a little tip that I didn't mention. So I feel like that card's reminding me that you do need to clear that space, create that space. It could also be like with this week, we have Christmas coming up, and it's like create space for the people you love, you know. You might always be busy, and we always feel like we're busy all the time, you know. We are, like, it's so much to do these days, there's so many distractions, and it's very easy just to be also just locked into your work, locked into your phone, and you can forget to really make space in your life for the people you love. And if you love them, you can make a little bit of space for them. So maybe this week, just even if you're like what I do, it's very related to what I was talking about with the Christ consciousness energy earlier, but sometimes I feel like I don't always want to, I know people I love are busy and I don't want to bother them, or I can't be with them right now and they're animals, like I'm away from my horses, I'm away from my cat. So I go into meditation and I send them love directly from my heart, and I really focus on sending my love from my heart to theirs, and just giving them pure unconditional love. And I feel like create spaces, like create space so that you can give that unconditional love to others. And even if you feel like they're not available to receive it because they also don't have space, you can go into meditation and send them the love that way, because they will feel it and they will benefit from it, trust me. For people that you can, just definitely make a bit of time, just set a bit of time aside. I always make sure every week I set aside time to talk with the people I love who have time to speak to me, of course, as well. You know, just make space in your life for people. I think we can forget that, you know, how important relationships are as well. So yeah, create some space, guys, and send some unconditional love.
And that might be you who needs that love. It might be you who needs that space. So make sure that you fill up your own cup first, of course, and then, of course, like I said, give that love to the people you love.
That's everything that I have for you. The light is going down. It's not even that late here, but that's winter for you. I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, and if you're watching this after Christmas, I wish you a beautiful week or day. And yeah, thank you for watching. But do let me know if you want me to talk more about my experiences with Sekhmet, my experiences I've been having with Jesus, and we can get into that. I can talk to you guys about that if you would like. So take care, much love, blessed be.